Most guys focus on products, shampoos, oils, treatments, but what you do every single day actually matters way more. Today, we're breaking down the 5 daily habits that are secretly killing your hair growth and how to start each one today. All right, let's start with the big one. The one that nobody wants to talk about, but everybody is dealing with: stress. Now, I know what you're thinking. Stallion, I've heard this before. Stress is bad. Tell me something that I don't know. But here's the thing. Stress doesn't just make you feel bad. It literally changes what's happening inside your scalp right now. When you're under chronic stress, and I'm talking about the kind of stress that comes from being a dad with 4 kids, running a business, trying to keep your marriage strong, paying the bills, all of it, your body goes into survival mode. And guess what your body does not consider to be essential for survival? Your hair. Here's what happens. Stress triggers something called Telogen Effluvium, a fancy term, but basically it means that your body pushes a bunch of follicles into the resting phase all at once. And then a few months later, boom, they all fall out at the same time. You wake up one morning, you're in the shower, and you're like, why is there so much hair in the drain? What's going on? And the crazy part, the stress event that caused it happened 3 months ago. So you're sitting there trying to figure out what you did wrong last week. But the damage was done back in January when you were pulling all-nighters and dealing with that family emergency. I remember when my wife and I were going through a really tough season financially. I was stressed out of my mind. And about 2 to 3 months later, I noticed that my hair was shedding like crazy. I thought that I was going bald even faster. And it turns out that my body was just responding to the stress. And if this is you, you're definitely not alone. And it's reversible. But look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that to just relax or to meditate 20 minutes a day. If you're a busy dad, you just don't have time for that. But here's what you can do. Move your body. Even 10 minutes of walking or push-ups can lower your cortisol levels. I'm not talking about a full gym session. Just move your body around. Sleep. I know that this is easier said than done, but if you're getting less than 6 hours a night, your body is in constant stress mode. Your hair doesn't grow if it's constantly running on fumes. Talk to someone. Whether it's your wife, a buddy, or a therapist, don't bottle it up. Stress compounds when you keep it all inside. And here's the good news. Telogen effluvium is reversible. Once you address the stress, your hair can grow back, but you gotta deal with the root cause first. Habit number 2, you're destroying wet hair like it owes you money. And this is the sneaky one because most guys don't even realize that they're doing it. Aggressive brushing, combing, or towel drying, especially on wet hair. Let me paint you a picture. You got out of the shower, your hair's soaking wet. You grab a towel and you go to town on your head like you're trying to start a fire with 2 sticks. Sound familiar? Yeah, I used to do this too. Here's the problem. When your hair is wet, it's at its weakest. Water changes the structure of your hair shaft, making it more elastic and way easier to break. So when you're rubbing that towel all over your head or yanking a brush through the wet tangles, you're literally snapping your hair strands in half. And over time, that leads to thinning, especially around your hairline and that crown, which are already the most fragile areas. The American Academy of Dermatology actually says that this is one of the top ways that guys damage their hair without even knowing it. And the crazy part is, it's so easy to fix. Pat. Don't rub. After your shower, gently pat your hair dry with a towel, or even better yet, wrap it in a towel and let it absorb the water. No scrubbing. Use a wide tooth comb. If you have straight hair, let it dry a bit before you comb it. And if you have curly or textured hair, comb it using a wide tooth comb. Never a brush. Upgrade your pillowcase. Cotton creates friction, which leads to breakage while you sleep. I switched to a silk pillowcase just a couple years ago, and honestly, it's made a noticeable difference. My hair felt smoother and I wasn't waking up with random broken hairs on my pillow. Now, before we get to habit number 3, which is the one that shocked me the most, I want to talk about something that's helped me personally on my journey. Look, fixing these habits is step one. But if you want to give your hair that best chance to grow back thick and strong, you need to support it from the outside too. And that's why I created the Mane Growth Elixir. It's a natural hair growth oil with over 40 botanicals, things like rosemary, saw palmetto, black seed oil, and brimgrage, all designed to stimulate your follicles, block DHT, and nourish your scalp. No harsh chemicals, no side effects, just nature's most powerful ingredients working together. I used it every night before bed and now 3 times a week just for maintenance. I massage it into my scalp for about 5 minutes and I let it work its magic while I sleep. And over time, I've seen real results, especially on my crown area, which was almost bald when I started. So if you want to check it out, head over to watchstylemane.com. We've got a 90-day money-back guarantee. So if it doesn't work for you, you get your money back, no questions asked. That's how confident I am. Now, this does not replace fixing the habits. It enhances the results once you fix them. All right, let's get back to it. Habit number 3. And this is the one that blew my mind when I first learned about it. Crash dieting and poor nutrition. Here's the deal. Your hair is made of protein, specifically a protein called keratin. So if you're not eating enough protein, or if you're on some crazy crash diet where you're cutting calories way too low, your body literally doesn't have the building blocks that it needs to grow your hair. And here's what happens. Your body goes, okay, we don't have enough resources. Let's shut it down. The non-essential stuff. I don't know why it sounds like that. And guess what's non-essential? Your hair. This triggers something called Telogen Effluvium. Yeah, the same thing that we talked about earlier with the stress. Your hair follicles go into a resting phase, and a few months later, you're shedding like crazy. Dermatologists see this all the time. Guys crash diet and their hair starts shedding months later. Me, I've seen this happen to guys who go on these extreme keto diets or intermittent fasting protocols without paying attention to their nutrition. They lose weight fast, but they also lose their hair. And the worst part, by the time that you notice your hair loss, the damage has been done months ago. How to fix this? Eat enough protein. Aim for at least 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That's chicken, beef, eggs, fish, beans, whatever works for you. Don't crash diet. If you're trying to lose weight, do it slowly. Aim for 1 to 2 pounds per week max. Rapid weight loss is a recipe for hair loss. Get your micronutrients. Iron, zinc, B12, vitamins A, C, D, and E. These are all critical for hair growth. If you're not getting them from food, consider a supplement. Eat healthy fats. Your hair needs omega-3s and omega-6s. Think salmon, avocado, nuts, seeds. I learned this the hard way. A few years ago, I tried one of those super low-carb diets to drop some weight fast. And sure enough, about 3 months later, my hair was falling out like crazy. I thought I was going bald even faster, and it turns out that I was just starving my follicles. Once I started eating enough, especially protein and healthy fats, my hair kind of bounced back. All right, habit number 4, overusing heat tools. Blow dryers, straighteners, curling irons, all of them. Now, I get it. You want your hair to look good. You want it styled. You want it to have that fresh out of the barbershop look. But here's the problem. Heat damages the cuticle of your hair. The cuticle is that outer protective layer of your hair strand. When you blast it with very high heat every single day, you're basically frying it. The cuticle gets damaged. Your hair becomes dry and brittle, and it starts snapping off. And over time, that leads to thinning. The American Academy of Dermatologists says that this is one of the most common ways that guys unknowingly damage their hair. But how do you fix it? Let your hair air dry. I know that it takes longer, but it is way better for your hair. If you're in a rush, towel dry it first, then let it air dry the rest of the way. Use the lowest heat settings if you have to use a blow dryer. Keep it on low, maybe medium, but never on high. Limit how often you use these heat tools. Try to go a few days between blow drying or straightening. Give your hair a break. Use a heat protectant. If you're going to use these tools, at least protect your hair. These are sprays and serums that create a barrier between the heat and your hair. I used to blow dry my hair and I'd crank it up to high because I was in a hurry. Big mistake. My hair felt dry and it looked dull. I wish I had started letting it air dry in my 20s and only using the hair dryer on low heat when I needed to. I bet that my hair would have felt so much healthier back then. Habit number 5. Smoking is killing your hair and making it gray faster. Now, I know not everyone watching smokes, but if you do, or if you know someone who does, listen up. Smoking is one of the worst things that you can do for your hair, period. Here's why. It reduces blood flow to your scalp. Your hair follicles need oxygen and nutrients from your blood to grow. Smoking constricts your blood vessels, which means less blood flow, which means weaker hair growth. It increases oxidative stress. Smoking creates free radicals that damage your hair follicles and can cause inflammation. This leads to hair loss. It messes with your hormones. Smoking can increase levels of DHT, the hormone that shrinks hair follicles and causes male pattern baldness. It makes your hair gray faster. A study found that smokers were 2.5 times more likely to develop premature graying before the age of 30. And here's the kicker. Even if you only smoke occasionally, the damage adds up. The New York Post recently reported on a study showing that smoking is directly linked to both hair loss and premature graying. And the more that you smoke, the worse it gets. How to fix it? Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this or give you some complicated 12-step plan. There are resources out there, nicotine patches, gum, apps, support groups, whatever works for you. Your hair will thank you, your lungs will thank you, your family will thank you. But at the end of the day, if you're serious about keeping your hair, here's the truth. You can't outproduct bad habits. You can use the best hair growth oil in the world, but if you're doing these 5 things every day, you're sabotaging yourself. Fix the habits first, then support your hair with the right products. And if you want to give your hair the best chance to grow back thick and strong, check out the Main Growth Elixir. Now, if you want to know the right way to apply your hair growth oil so that you're not wasting product, check out this video next, and I'll walk you through my exact routine step by step. Your hair growth journey starts now. Let's go.